Welcome to the CarbSmart podcast, where your decision to embrace low-carb nutrition becomes a fun and delicious lifestyle. I'm your host, Dana Carpenter, here to guide you through the ins and outs of everything low-carb. Today, we'll be looking at the popular concept of the cheat day. Good idea? Bad idea? As usual, I have some strong opinions. Stick around.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss a single episode.
Do you spend time on Reddit? I do. Among the many subreddits I pay attention to is r/lowcarb. I frequently see questions about cheat days. Most commonly, how often should I have a cheat day? There seems to be an assumption that cheat days are a good idea, something that should be built into a low-carb diet to keep people from feeling deprived. I beg to differ. Indeed, I'm not sure where the idea of a cheat day even comes from. Obviously, it's meant to appeal to people who cannot imagine just giving up carbs, not eating their favorite carby foods again. But people seem to think it's a good idea, and that I cannot see. I have written of the occasional indulgence, a term I prefer to cheat. Cheat implies that you'll get away with something, and you never, ever do. Your body will notice. And I admit to a few handful of potato chips at a party now and then. I recall a cousin's wedding where I ate a mini chocolate cheesecake about 1.5 inches in diameter, maybe 15 years ago. When I first started, I would have an indulgence for a holiday meal like Thanksgiving dinner, but I would eat a high-protein breakfast that morning, eat one modest serving only of the carbs that really mattered to me, and be done. No leftover potatoes or stuffing or pie that night or over Thanksgiving weekend. Nuh-uh. But never a whole day. And never a weekly or bi-weekly or even monthly thing. That way lies madness, not to mention failure. Why? I'll respond with a question of my own. If someone you loved was fighting alcoholism and had finally gotten sober, would you suggest that they have a cheat day once a week? Start the day with mimosas, down some beers with lunch, go through a bottle or two of wine at dinner, and then expect them to be right back on the wagon the next day? No? How about a 2-pack-a-day smoker? If they finally managed to quit, would you suggest that they have a smoking day every couple of weeks so they wouldn't feel deprived? That is no way to kick an addiction. Yes, I said addiction. I've said it over and over. I stole to support my childhood sugar habit. That's pretty much the definition of an addiction, no? Of course, as an adult, I could buy all the carby junk I want without stealing because carbs are cheap and legal. That doesn't change the fact that they're addictive. Opium was cheap and legal until the 1930s. That didn't change its addictive nature. Alcohol is cheap and legal, and we all know that's addictive. 2, I can't count the times people have said to me, I could never give up sugar. I reply, say you don't want to give up sugar. Don't throw away your power. But it's tempting to say, a lot of people feel that way about cocaine too. And if you'd like to know just how addictive wheat is in all of its many forms, I urge you to read Wheat Belly by Dr. William Davis. Back when I was writing a weekly e-zine, I commonly got mail from readers saying that they've been doing great on their low-carb diets, losing weight, feeling far better, full of energy, health markers improving, not hungry all the time, not even having cravings. Then the special occasion arose. I'm on vacation. It's the holiday season. It's my birthday. Take your pick. They'd declare an existing state of nutritional indulgence for the duration and never stop. I'd hear from them 8 months and 40 pounds later, just starting over. Do you have cravings when you first start low-carbing? Maybe. I didn't. I was too dazzled by how much better I felt. but many people do. That doesn't mean that a cheat day will help. It will only prolong the cravings. Among my many youthful addictions, I smoked a pack and a half a day. Knowing how stupid and destructive it was, I occasionally told myself I was cutting down and I would eventually quit. Yet I always knew I was lying to myself. I knew that if I did quit, I would simply get fed up, throw a half a pack away, and be done with it. That's exactly what happened. About 36 hours after my last cigarette, I was hanging out with friends, many of whom smoked. One of them asked me how I felt. "Like I want a cigarette," I replied. The friend said, "Tell you what, if you still want a cigarette in half an hour, I'll give you one." By 30 minutes later, my resolve had reasserted itself. The same with food cravings. You can wait them out. And the longer you stay away from your addiction, the less the cravings will trouble you. There are strategies for riding out cravings. You can, of course, go for the low-carb version of whatever you crave: coffee with sugar-free syrup or flavored stevia extract, and heavy cream. Sugar-free chocolate, one of the many recipes for low-carb pizza out there, etc. Look below for a link to my recipe for backwards pizza. Because of the addictive nature of wheat, I skipped the low-carb breads and tortillas that are now commonly in the stores, but I did eat low-carb tortillas for many years. They may not be ideal, but they're better than regular tortillas. Make sure that you're getting enough fat. Don't eat boneless, skinless chicken breast and a salad with light dressing and expect to be full. Eat your chicken with the skin, add plenty of olive oil to the salad, consider adding a low-carb vegetable with plenty of butter. Choose fatty cuts of meat. Fat is satiating and is the only macronutrient that doesn't cause an insulin release. And here's an odd tip that I got when I was on Weight Watchers in 1969 at age 11. If you're craving sugar, eat a big dill pickle instead. It's counterintuitive, but there's something about the strong flavor that really does quell a sugar craving. Another point, regular cheat days reinforce the notion that is the normal way to eat, that you should have a bowl of cereal for breakfast, that a burger with fries and a shake is the normal and desirable lunch, that of course spaghetti and garlic bread are a great dinner. Why prolong that destructive way of thinking? Skip the cheat days, and sooner than you think, a steak with mushrooms and garlic butter and a salad with plenty of olive oil will be your new normal. I'm not here to judge. There are many forms of carbohydrate restriction, and different versions work for different people. Just be aware that not only are cheat days not required, they're not even a good idea. Thanks for tuning in to the CarbSmart podcast. Though I generally talk about food for eating, I hope today's episode has given you food for thought as well. Have you tried cheat days or no? Either way, why? If so, how have you approached it and how has it worked out for you? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss a single episode. Until next time, stay low carb, happy, and healthy.